just going to look real quick.
I should put a sign at the bottom that says, there we go. We are live. We are live.
All right. Very exciting. I feel like it's been like 10 weeks, but it's really only been like 2, right?
1. We were on last week.
We were on last week?
We were on
What year is it? I don't
Have your school districts closed down?
I feel like summer just disappeared. I'm sorry, what?
Have your school districts gone back home to
Yeah, we don't start as early as Texas, right? So school doesn't start for us until first week of September, second week of September.
Why is that?
Because we don't have to worry about the stifling heat. I don't know. School is.
Or you do have to worry about the stifling heat because you guys don't have AC turned on at most of those schools, right?
Because Texas is weak, very weak.
Oh yeah, weak. Whatever. 91 degrees, everyone's dying.
Turn on air conditioning all the time. No, it's I don't know. It's always been September. I think it's just always been like after the summer. Right after Labor Day is when school usually starts up here. So the week after Labor Day has always been that way. I have no idea why. Hey, what's up, Rolls? And then the South starts in the end of summer for some reason. August, right? The end of August is when it starts.
Yeah, that's how I remember, right? June to August was summer, right? Like the 3 months of summer was summer. I remember going to school and end of May, beginning of June was the end of and
then Labor Day weekend was like, no, it's over. And then you go to school. And
my kids started like first week of August. It sucks.
Yeah, and then they're going till last week of November after Thanksgiving. Is that when they end? Do you get this? I don't understand.
No. I mean, they'll get like the holiday. They get the 1 week of. I mean, they get the week of Thanksgiving and the week of Christmas, and
it's not long enough. They need to be in school year round. That's what I say. Get them out of my house.
The district next to us. I got a buddy of mine that works as a theater director there, and his district went year round.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, we should roll the credits because Rolls are here. Someone else is here. Let's play some video games. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about games. Let's kick this off right. Let's go.
What's up, Rita? Thanks for jumping on.
Welcome, everyone, to the Mid-Geek Christ, episode 137. My name is Joe, and I'm drinking.
Yeah, I'm cautious Pedro in real life, I guess. I don't know what's real anymore. Let's talk about some games.
Let's talk about some games. What's going on, everyone? How do you want to kick this off? Where in the geekdom do we want to start this week?
Well, we were talking about before the show, what if, I don't know if folks are watching that Disney show, but I didn't enjoy the first episode, so I haven't gotten around to watching the second one. But Joe watched them both back to back? Is that what you
I watched them both because last week I hadn't watched it yet, and I caught up, and I watched the Peggy Carter episode, and I ended up watching episode 2, which had just come out, I guess. And it was great stuff. I enjoyed it. So last week we talked a little bit about how you weren't completely impressed with it yet.
I just didn't feel like it didn't have enough pizzazz. It didn't really deliver a reason for me to keep watching What Ifs.
So I'm going to give my take on it, and I liked it. But I totally see exactly where you were turned off on it, and I think so. The biggest scenario that I saw was that the mythos of Captain America was kept very small. Like we saw they kept it only to First Avenger, the movie, basically the original Captain America movie, which is fine, but the What If series is, I don't know if we'll ever come back to that version of the character, because I feel like that Peggy Carter character, like the repercussions of that character felt like they were deeper in the MCU after that first movie, right? Like Captain America's mythos as Captain America didn't really grow until he was actually an Avenger. Like once he became an Avenger, he learned how to like coincide with humanity. He felt, he
fish out of water comedy, all good stuff.
Yeah, he did all this stuff, right? He made his friends, like when he made friends with the Falcon. Like that's such a big friendship for him. and the friendship with him and Tony and all that kind of stuff. So without Steve there to ground, or let's say, for example, a good one there is the Falcon. Like, what happens to his character doesn't even get discovered, right?
Right.
Like
there's nothing.
He's a character that like fought in the war, and then he was like a social worker, right? And he was just working out one day, and he kept running into Steve, and so they became friends and whatnot. And they talked about his projects, and then sure enough, he donned the wings again that he wore in the war. So another thing is Iron Man, for example. Like, Iron Man is very like in his head. And Steve grounded him. He put him towards that like different side of like
he started the Civil War with them, right?
Civil War only to reconnect him with like who am I kind of thing. So like without that, what happens with Iron Man? How far does he go? With the Ultron project. Like there's just so many things that the Peggy Carter character, I felt like we needed to see her side. Like, how would she have applied this?
How would she have changed the Marvel Universe since Captain America the first Avenger is so central to the history of it? It just didn't deliver. It did deliver some great action sequences.
Yes, and that's exactly where I think you and I both agree, where the action that was. And all I was thinking about while watching is seeing the fluidity of the punches and the kicks and the, hey, I'm gonna like run into this like truck and make it flip over me and all that kind of stuff. All I could think about was like, man, we still don't have the CGI budget for this kind of thing.
It's true. You can't get the same fluid animation you do. Like
no matter how much
fluidity.
Probably the only director that could pull off a shot like that is Zack Snyder.
Could you stop it?
I mean,
because he takes 35 minutes in slow motion to deliver it.
Right, of course. I mean, take that cinematic scenes from the 300 and apply those to like some of the scenes that Captain America does in the comic book, and then put those in like movie form, and that would be awesome. But of course, like we don't see it. It's just, I don't know. Seeing Peggy ride Iron Man into the stratosphere,
punching her way through planes,
punching her way through planes.
It was great. It was good.
So good.
It really delivered. So I mean, like, I don't want to. Let's just do some Marvel Universe theorizing. All right. So we've got this What If series with the multiverse. We've got Loki blowing up the multiverse, right? And then we have a trailer that just dropped, right?
Right. I'll bring it up.
So, and then we have Spider-Man No Way Home. So could we get like Peggy Carter, Captain Britain, or Captain America showing up in one of these MCU episodes? Like, could we have some sort of
definitely a way
overlaps?
This is this entire trailer speaks to me like it's a way for Marvel to break from their rigidity of what is canon and what isn't, right? So what's interesting about, if we talk about comic books in general, like 626, the universe that is the main line continuity. I know.
I love it.
The 626 universe that is
that's
the continuity.
The area code, by the way, everybody. Dial 626 and you're good to go.
You just, Stan Lee picks up the phone if you dial that.
Exactly.
The 626 universe is what's considered the main line. The what was the sacred timeline, as you will.
Exactly.
616. Thank you. 616, 626, 616.
Way to go. See,
thank you.
Out nerded on the internet.
Out nerded. Thank you so much. 616. He called me on it. And I love that. That's what I love about my fans here. So the 616, the sacred timeline that is the Marvel Universe. But if you read comics, you know well enough that every other comic book is a what if, is a alternate universe, is a here's a story that didn't happen, or here's a one shot. So all of those stories are some of the best stories that Marvel has. Mm-hmm. And so a good example, everyone loves Miles Morales now.
Yep.
Miles Morales is a fantastic Spider-Man, but you guys have to remember, you folks, that version of Spider-Man was a outside continuity storyline. Yep. It was considered the ultimate storyline, the ultimate timeline. That timeline was so broken with the masculinity that was the ultimate universe that
extreme was not extreme enough. Everybody,
extreme was not extreme enough. Right. That particular timeline was folded, and thanks, Mark Millar. Thank you. That's exactly right. That was what is it? Ultimates 3, I think, is he did, right? Anywho, it just turned into a mess, a toxic mess, and a lot of versions of the characters in that universe were pretty cool, and some of them were terrible. And
just like the real Marvel universe, so no difference.
What's interesting about that universe was that was the universe that Marvel almost went, hey, look, we want to still tell stories about Peter Parker as a teenager, but we also want to tell stories about Peter Parker, the married man, growing up as an adult. How do we tell these two stories? Well, here's the universe. Here's the ultimate universe Spider-Man. Let's have him in high school. Let's keep him in high school and him dealing with like high school and powers and whatnot. But 626 Spider-Man is over here as an adult now. He's like 616. Thank you. 616. I don't want to say 626. 616. Peter Parker is over here, adult teen, dealing with like marriage and all that sort of stuff. Well, then Brian Michael Bendis kills off that Spider-Man, right? So, and that was actually like an amazing story because his death was like, Brian Michael Bendis was like, that's it. He doesn't come back. Like, for real. He's dead. Not only did he not come back, Marvel was like, well, we kind of want a Spider-Man. It's like, okay, so we'll make another one. So he made another Spider-Man in that universe, which became Miles Morales, which became very popular. Yeah. Then they destroyed that entire timeline, and everyone was like, well, what do we do with Miles? Like, he's kind of a big deal. We can't just like, let's kill off the black Spider-Man that everyone likes all of a sudden. Kind of not the way to go. So they actually had a whole story arc and brought him into the 616 universe. Multiverse happens, and that's when now he started his own video game, started his own movie. I mean,
got his own movie introducing the multiverse as well to the Spider-Man universe. Yeah, so here we are.
Here we are again, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man seems to be the ultimate, no pun intended, method of creating multiverses because Spider-Man has had so many instances of himself.
I mean, hot take, he's the best superhero in the Marvel universe, right? Like,
yeah. The one not owned by Marvel, full 100%. But
not even in the MCU, not in the Sony universe. Like, of all the comics we all read growing up, Peter Parker and Spider-Man is objectively the best. X-Men's great, Cyclops is great, all these characters are great. Spider-Man is objectively.
When it comes down to Marvel, like Marvel heroes,
for me.
Definitely for you.
He's got the coolest villains.
He's in the coolest city, right?
Yeah, 1,000% their best superhero by far. He barely went dark, right? He went ultimate, but he didn't go dark, right? There wasn't many moments.
No, as a matter of fact, the ultimate timeline version of Spider-Man is the sweetest one. It's the one that was like the most. I mean, like when he died in that universe, he like died saving his aunt. Like he was all about like protecting his friends, and he dies on his front lawn being beat up. I mean, it's just it's like one of the most heartfelt like deaths in that universe. It's so like, totally. He's definitely a character that relates.
So it makes sense taking this character that relates and is so critical to the Marvel universe and is just good overall. Right. And making him the thread that brings it all together, right? Making him the center of his multiverse.
The thread in the web.
Come on, this is a show. We got to make puns, right?
In the web?
I'm really slinging out the puns. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, twip. Let's kill it.
Male spider's ability
to we have a new trailer.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider.
Can we just like stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
I kind of love the witch Doctor Strange thing there. I don't know what's going on. It's great.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity...
Can we talk about it? We'll talk about his outfit in a second.
I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Oh, monkey paw wish every time.
It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't. The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop
Tell her.
tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know.
Stop talking.
Good job, Peter.
What just happened?
We all do. We all do go astronaut.
It's fine. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
I'm sure we're going to find out nothing in your movie.
The problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes. Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Love it.
Hello, Peter.
Good. Yeah. Yup.
That good ear.
Yep.
Good ear,
Yep.
sir. Good ear.
I mean, it is Willem Dafoe, so it's a high probability he's going to be in your movie, right? Just let's be clear here. Doesn't matter what movie
I feel like
it
he's
is.
in every movie. We just don't
He's
know
in
it.
a lot of movies. Look. So, all right, am I losing? Am I breaking up?
No,
Or
I'm glitching.
Yeah.
I'm glitching. Hold on. Let's.
So. Oh, I mean, it's just me. So yeah. So, Willem Dafoe was the Green Goblin in the Sam Raimi series, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So, are they bringing back all of the Sam Raimi villains? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, it is Dafoe. We're okay. We're okay with the spelling, folks. Jesus, Joe's dying here. So, yeah, I need my straight man to get this done. But here's the weird deal. I think they're going to bring back a bunch of villains, and I hope they're going to reveal some old Spider-Mans in this movie, right? Because they can really play around in a way that these movies couldn't in the past with past properties. Why the heck not? Bring in lightsabers if you want to be crazy. But I think they can do this, and they can do this in a very, very cool way. So, yeah, right?
We talk about universe, right? So how do you pull this, right? You go, they all know he's Peter Parker, even though he looks like a different person.
Right.
They're able to like immediately, soon as they merge some of these universes together, immediately everyone that knew Peter Parker was Peter Parker. So obviously, if we brought in other villains, we're gonna see other Peter Parkers.
That's my theory. Of course we are. We've got to have all the other Peter Parkers in that universe hanging out, being ridiculous, having fun, overlapping cartoons with CGI.
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man again in any form is worth it all. It's worth it all.
It will certainly be worth my HBO Max subscription. No, I'll go see it in theaters. Maybe. I don't know. I've got to go see the other Spider-Man movies. I was just telling Joe before, I still haven't seen the two Spider-Man movies. So
Homecoming is good for the villain. It's a good movie, but I have my problems with it, how they introduced him as Spider-Man. I've talked about this before on the show, I think. I have issues with the way that this version of Spider-Man was introduced in the Marvel Universe, considering that I thought Spider-Man is always like he's a pick you up from your own bootstraps kind of thing. Like kind of do it to it, being that guy. He's the New Yorker. He's the guy that like makes it on his own. He doesn't need help from anybody kind of thing. Until later, right? Later on, then Spider-Man and his friends, and he becomes very friendly with everybody.
When he gets adopted by Iron Man, right?
Right. But that was his first outing in the Marvel Universe, and like Iron Man gives him his suit. He doesn't build his own Spider-Man suit. He doesn't do any of the Spider-Man things. It felt very Batman Begins.
Yeah. He gets mentored and spot. He gets Batman Begins.
Like I'm just gonna throw money at it, Lucius.
Well, we all
let
need
me buy this. Let me buy this.
Need a rich benefactor to get us through our movies.
Let me buy this army suit. Lucius. So that's my Bale impression.
It's a pretty good Bale. It's a pretty good Bale.
How do we do
Bergamine
this,
says Homecoming is much better than Far From Home. Far From Home falls apart as a movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I gotta see it.
I can agree with you in a way. Rich benefactors PM me. Dan, I think that you're right. That trailer was cut weird on purpose. It's like they showed a bunch of rubble and action with no reference to what causes the action. And I think they did that on purpose. And I'm okay with that, because all it did is, yes, Spider-Man swings around. Yes, he monkey paws. But then after that, the second half of the trailer is just him swinging around doing stuff. I'm like, okay, he's doing Spider-Man things. What's he swinging from? What's he hiding from? And they hid all of that. So I'm okay with that because some of these trailers lately have been telling me too much, and this still told me
I
nothing.
know they didn't tell you too much. So we got Electro, we got Doc Octopus, we got Green Goblin. Are we going to get the Rhino? Because that's all 4 of the boys, right?
Right. So we've got the 2 Raimi, the 2 Raimi, the Sam Raimi villains. Are we going to get any of the ones from the Andrew Garfield ones? Since
I don't even know who was in the Andrew Garfield one.
So Electro.
He's in that. He's in that trailer, isn't he?
Electro? No.
Am I crazy?
Jamie Foxx is Electro?
I thought he was signed on for this movie.
I thought he was too. Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was signed on for this movie.
Also, can we let's talk about this for a second. So my sister put these up, and I thought this was interesting. Someone, of course, the cosplay community has already deciphered his entire outfit. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. So
yeah, all right, Dan. So Fox was supposed to be. So I mean, they're going to bring the Sinister Six into this, right? They have to, if you've got 3 of them, right?
Right.
Come on.
Let's before we do.
Also strange. You mess with time, and now you have to face the consequences. Nice.
So here's Doctor Strange there, and in his full on outfit. They've already deciphered his entire outfit. That's the cup he's got.
Oh my gosh. So are we all? Is everyone just going to cosplay in this outfit from now on?
Okay. Sweatpants. It's like they've been freaking. It's been a great, good job. But my sister pulled that up. I was like,
people on the internet has deciphered the entire outfit.
He was like, check. So that now expect the Patagonia suit and the beautiful the hoodie. I can't believe they found the exact mug.
I've got my fall look. I can't wear a Columbia hoodie, but I'll find some other hoodie that substitutes.
Rolls perfect. How do we know we're still in a pandemic? Someone took the time to figure this outfit out. Yeah, dude. The fact that someone was like, "I know that mug," and went online and found the mug.
It's already. I mean, the Reddit, the internet, they're just amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we saw lightning. That's all we saw. That's Electro. We don't need anything more than that. We got Electro.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Perk. I mean, Doctor Strange looks like he's working from home as well. Right?
He's a work from home. Also, I love the fact that it's snowing inside of.
So that's a great reference to Doctor Strange in general, right?
Yeah.
The man lives in a weird world where he has those things happen because he's messing around with magic. Huh? Strange world. Yes, a strange world. Yes. But some of the Doctor Strange comic books I read is that he's barely in control of his house because there's so much magic going on in there all the time.
What's interesting to me is this. This movie has not been pushed back. They are holding hard on December. I think there's a major reason for that.
All right, go ahead.
It has to come out before his movie, the Doctor Strange. What is it? Of Madness, what is it called? The Multiverse of Madness, or
Multiverse of Madness. In the Multiverse of Madness is like a reference to Cthulhu, something. Like
it's H.P. Lovecraft. Multiverse of Madness. There we go. So I think it has to come out because something either happens to him with the multiverse that he creates here, which then leads into his movie, which then leads into Scarlet Witch.
So you're saying they can't mess around with.
They can't mess around with the timetables. Like his movie, this Spider-Man movie has to come out before that one, so that it takes place before it's so that the character. Because then, what would happen if they move this one further back? They would have to move the next one back. They would have to move.
When you say have to, you make it sound like it's the sequence to cure cancer.
Look, man,
movies, right? Fans follow.
Give us this. Things have to happen. All right. Everything else is to shit and back in this freaking godforsaken timeline. Our multiverse is fucked.
I am an intelligent enough human being that I can watch movies out of order in the Marvel universe, right? It's not that
intelligent. I call it lazy. I call it your commitment to sparkle motion isn't
when
there.
You watched Black Widow, you were like, well, what the hell's going on? I thought she was dead. Like, you couldn't figure out where it fit in the timeline.
They made sure to establish continuity with me. Of course. God. Jesus.
Yes, highly connected, says Dick. Just give us this. Says the most catered to fan base in the world. That's fair too.
No. It's let us have this. Let us have this.
Let us have more, is what you're saying. Let us have more.
I don't consider what we had before enough.
So impossibly greedy.
So impossibly greedy.
It's ridiculous.
Agreed. Oh,
So yes,
man.
of course they have to play these out in sequence, right? And I am assuming they don't want to push it out because like a lot of money's been lost with all this stuff.
Yeah, no, well, of course. I mean, Hollywood. I mean, they're you know, I think I saw Tom Cruise on the corner, you know, begging for money. I mean, they're broke. Think of the celebrities.
Think of those billionaires. What really? Really? Did they watch Infinity War and have no idea? Well, honestly, I mean, I barely understand Ant-Man's stories in general, right? I instantly forgot the movies after.
You know, I forgot that movie came out in between Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly, because it like barely,
that's a. I mean, yeah, but
that's fair, Dan. I mean, that's not a very It's easy to forget that movie. Wait,
Yeah.
it had like 17 villains, right? Ant-Man and the Wasp. I feel like it had.
did
Like,
it? I don't even remember one of them.
It had the woman who was out of time. It had the giant, the Goliath, the original Ant-Man. I guess didn't have another one. I don't know. Felt like I had a lot going on for a singular movie. Lawrence Fishburne was in it, right? Yeah, he was the bad guy. See, this face is like I don't remember this.
I have no memory of this place. What?
Right? Yeah, Goliath. Was it Goliath? Was that his name? What was his name?
Well, no,
Where's
but
Lawrence
he
Fishburne?
plays Goliath, as in like he grows at the end of that movie, right? Like he
Lawrence Fishburne.
is
plays-
Lawrence.
He plays the first like guy who can grow big, doesn't he?
Really? Does he?
That's what I thought. I mean, did I make up this movie? Maybe I made up this movie.
Yeah, Ant-Man grows at the end. Right. I'm like, he grows
What
at
did
the end.
Lawrence Fishburne's characters do? Wasn't he the first one to be experimented on? Wasn't there also Yellow Jacket in this movie? Am I making this? I'm making this all up. Forget
This
it.
is
I don't
all
know.
fan fiction. You're playing
It's
your
all
own fan
fan
fiction.
You're thinking of Candyman.
Okay, so that's an
Here.
excellent segue. That's an excellent segue, and I want to talk about this.
Who remembers any of this? Is the
So
perfect.
I want to talk about this in general. This is on this show we talk about pop culture stuff, and we talk about our kids
Right, yeah.
a lot. And I was having this conversation with the wife, and I wanted to bring it up to the fans and et cetera. I have kids. Pedro, you have kids. You have a kid. And one of the things that I've kind of been to wrestle with as we get older is fan fiction.
Okay, go on.
So here's the gist. Pull up the chair.
Story time.
When we grew up, our age, people our age and older,
Mhm.
when we were fans of stuff. Like I grew up, I was watching, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, He-Man,
For sure.
G.I. Joe. And when we were on the playground, if someone had a G.I. Joe and had a Ninja Turtle, we would create worlds.
They would totally fight. Yep.
They would totally fight. They would whatever. But that's as far as it went, right? Sort of, right? Like I'm sure in the deep recesses of people's basements, people wrote stories about it in their like spiral notebooks that they kept, right?
Okay. All right.
As we progressively got older, the internet became a thing.
Yep.
And in our adolescence, chat rooms in AOL, Prodigy, IRC, all the different methods of chat rooms existed, and small communities started being created. Pre-Reddit, there used to be Yahoo groups.
Yep.
And
Pre-Yahoo groups, they were bulletin boards. Yep.
bulletin boards and all that kind of stuff. So they existed, but they were smaller in crevices.
Sure.
Nowadays, and this is kind of a thing that I think you and I both have we've talked about this on the show before, is anytime there's something new or popular, something gets created, the fandom explodes, right? And immediately groups get created, subreddits get created, and then gatekeepers immediately show up and like, you haven't watched every episode of this.
Yep.
And then at that point, that's when the other stuff starts being created. Adult content of basic things, of very small things, and then at the same time, like fan fiction gets created, and the fan fiction becomes so popular that it almost overtakes the original thing.
Okay.
And so, and I'm trying to set the story here. My kiddo is he's getting older. He's 11 years old, and he's starting to, he watches things, he plays certain games, and certain games really connect to him. Like he loves Sonic. I mean, he loves all the Sonic stuff. And of course, the Sonic community can be very, very, very weird, right? Like that's already, we can establish that.
That is a good example of a community that's doing its thing. Right. Yes.
Right. So,
Very good.
which is already kind of dangerous. And I'll get to that one.
There's a definite line between a fan and being obsessed for sure.
Everything in moderation, right, Rolls. And I agree with you there. And I'll point that out, but it's very hard to have any moderation nowadays. So here's why I'm explaining that. My kiddo likes Undertale.
Okay, the weird video game.
Yeah, he loves it.
Okay, all right.
He's played it. He beat it. He got one ending on it. But he likes the character so much that he goes on YouTube and searches for Undertale. There's
some weird Undertale stuff out there.
There's 99. Team Pandora. Oh my god. We were going to talk about crates, but yes, are you talking about the guy from Bill and Ted? Sort of. We're definitely enlightening folks.
There you go.
That's the name of the episode, by the way. I don't know if you looked at that.
No, I saw it. It's one of the shorter names.
But anywho, so my kiddo's all about the whole Undertale right now, and he looks things up, and sure enough, like I have to take away his YouTube privileges constantly. Like I have to lock him out of it because then I'll go in and look at like his history, and he's watching just like all sorts of rando like fan created slash almost. I mean, like fan fiction cross. Just it's a mess. It's a hodgepodge, and his little brain can't handle all of that.
Sure,
like he now creates all of these like elaborate stories that he's basically following along the narrative of someone else, as opposed to like the actual game. Like the game ended and he ran with it somewhere else because other people have created so much more content than the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we stop that as like parents and as like geeks? How do we like teach our kids that like, hey man, like you like this thing, but just know that communities out there are doing things like it's okay to make believe and there's okay to like make little bubbles and have fantasy worlds of stuff. But like, then it just gets too out of hand, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than just say it just gets crazy.
I think the way you're doing it is the best way you could do it, right? Where you talk to them about how to engage with created content and block out the stuff that's objectionable today, right? I don't know how else to do it. I mean, I know how I do it. My kid's not allowed on the internet without me looking over her shoulder, but she's younger.
You're absolutely right. There are 3 endings to that game. So what's happening there, it's a good example, is that particular game has 3 endings, right? And each particular ending has a character or the way the character evolves. And so then you have fan fiction created of the evil version of that character, the good version of that character, what happened to this character, and then all of those like, oh, we're going to create stories how this person meets and that, and then let's cross it over with another game that's very similar to that. It's just
I think like, I mean, from my perspective, I think all of that's good, right? I think
it's good
people should create content. People
Absolutely.
should do it right. I mean, any way we want to be creative, we should be allowed to be creative. Any way you want to share that, right, with the internet, we want to share that. It's up to the parents to really try and filter out the kids' stuff. I don't know how to do it, right, beyond total censorship in my household, right? Introduce your kid to Homestuck and he'll figure out, show them a new game, right? I guess.
No. No. That's exactly, and pardon me, you're absolutely right. Like that, sadly, that particular community, the homeschool community, really identifies with Undertale. And there is a lot of cross breeding of that particular.
It's just wild.
Yeah. And the homeschool community is toxic is a nice word to say.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's weird. I don't like Steven Universe anymore because of the community, right?
Right.
Like there's a lot of, Adventure Time I find to be frustrating because of the community, right? So like there's a lot of things I don't participate in, but I'm an old man who can't do it, right? My kids just watch Minecraft videos all day.
Dan, so that's exactly it.
Your kid watching that. So does my kid. Dream. Right? Isn't that one of the Minecraft?
But Dan, my kid watches Minecraft videos all day too. But the problem is then he types in Undertale, Minecraft, and then the crowd goes wild. I mean, like the stuff that gets made with just the Minecraft engine is already kind of.
It's got peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh, dude!
On top.
Yeah. So like the internet in general, like all my kiddo has to do is search for it. I mean, I've seen his search engine results, right? Like he'll type in he'll type in Sans, main character of Undertale, Sonic, Mario, Princess Peach. And you're gonna get like 50 videos with that kind of stuff. And of course, all of that combination, you would think like, well, who's made content like that? Apparently a ton of people have. And not only that, is it gets really, really expletive, like really quick. And I'm like, dude, like, why are you doing this? Like at one point, as an adult, as an adolescent, I would have thought that was funny. But now as I'm growing up, I'm like, it's just gotten too far, man. Like it's gotten so far, like, I don't know.
Old man yells at cloud.
Old man yells at cloud. And I don't want to do that. That's the problem, right? Like, I don't want to do that. I don't
want to either. I mean, we're getting older, right? And
we are getting older, and I get it.
Our kids from experiencing that stuff before it's too soon. And so Rita, thank you. I agree with you, Steve. It can be very toxic, which is weird. Like everyone I talk to who's a fan of Steven Universe is like, I hate that the community is so toxic, but it's still pretty toxic, right? Like I can't merge that in my head. I think the internet, Homestuck is a stereo community. I think the internet allows that kind of insular limit pushing because you don't get the human interaction that you should get, right? That sort of feedback loop. You just sort of post your things that make you feel good out there, but there's no bad things coming back to you, right? There's no moment where you read someone's /fic and you go, really, dude? Like if I read it in front of you, you would hear me say that out loud as I read it, right?
The problem is you only found that /fic because you searched for that /fic.
Dude, I go to page 2 all the time.
No one ever should go to page 2.
So Team Bandori says, my kid is 6, almost 7 now. I try not to censor because apparently we have to explain why and learn. She wants to make her own YouTube vids. Why are Minecraft Mr. Beast videos so popular? Yep. So,
and my wife is a teacher. She teaches middle school and high school. She teaches both sides, and so she gets to see these kids in like 2 completely different age ranges. And sometimes she takes her advisory students. They have lunch in the homeroom, and it's a private school, so it's weird. They do all sorts of different things, and so they'll sit down sometimes, and they'll be like, "Can we watch videos?" And the wife's like, "Sure." And at first they were like, let's watch Mr. Beast. And so she would put on these Mr. Beast. Now she's like, I hate Mr. Beast so much. I hate that guy so much. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it. Like it's that guy is in, like, he's not for us. But if you watch the videos and see kind of like the lessons you're learning from this type of guy, like he gives away a lot of money because he's made a lot of YouTube money. But then like, there's also this like, you get something for nothing mentality that Mr. Beast kind of like creates. It's weird. And then like the algorithm, man, we talk a lot on this show about the algorithm.
The algorithm is going to crush us all.
It's going to crush us all.
It's not Skynet.
So Team Pandora, you're absolutely right. Minecraft, Mr. Beast, those things, like you search, like those are keywords right now because those are what's popular. Roblox, Minecraft, Mr. Beast. And again, you now type in a popular character, Mario or Sonic or whatever, and you're going to get a hit. There's going to be like 5 videos with all 3 of those things.
Yep.
No joke. It's that bad.
It's yeah. So I think if some folks have said it above, you got to have that conversation. I think you've got to get into fan fiction and help your kiddo build the skills to sort through the stuff. I don't think Pergamine's wrong. I mean,
you're not wrong.
There's
only so much I can take before I want to like
interest in anything. I try to. I mean, I've read the book she's read. I've looked it up online to talk to her about it. Like I've tried. I mean, it's almost like you have to become part of their hobby.
Yeah.
To moderate it and tell them how to experience that stuff. And it can be rough. And like I mean, Pergamine, I kind of just want someone else to do it for me. Like top 10 Sonic fan fiction stories to share with your kid. Where's that website?
Let's search for that, folks. Someone do a search for that one for me.
And if it's not there, this is the white space we need to operate in, Joe. This guarantees someone in the fandom is doing that.
It's the white sliver. I don't think I'm of size to fit in that space. Like it's so small, man. Like I get it, and that's why I wanted to bring up our childhood, right? Like I can't even imagine the amount of like toxic, nasty, like community we would have created. I know it exists now. I mean, you can find it out, but it's not as prevalent as something popular like the big stuff that's now. But could you imagine the communities created if like Thundercats was like big? Like the amount of Chitara stuff out there that would have been created would have just been like grotesque. Like I'm sure it exists now because we grew up and we now are like,
I mean, I'm 100%
40s.
sure it was out there, right? There was like dirty comics of cartoon characters
Yeah,
already
but like,
out there.
how
Trash
accessible
cans.
was that, right? Like there was no
Trash cans.
internet to like someone creates an immediate naked image of somebody and puts it on Twitter and it immediately goes out there viral. Back then, someone drew it in their.
Where do you hang out on Twitter, Joe?
It happens.
Your cues, okay?
I get it. You know what I mean? It's just it's bad. Like back, I mean, if you drew something back then, I mean, like how did you digitally get it anywhere? No, everyone just made a photocopy of it. Like it got put up in like I don't know, like break rooms. Like
people handed out VHS tapes. I mean, you got some nasty anime, I guarantee, at 12 and 13 on a VHS tape from your buddies, right? I mean, we all did. It took 7 minutes to tell. We had to go uphill both ways to connect the cable. Yes, I know. I mean, your mom picked up the phone, you were immediately disconnected. It was terrible. This stuff has existed for like 25 years. Harry Potter dropped in 1987, and Snape was getting down like immediately.
Yeah. So please don't remind me of my mortality, Pergamene. You just said 25 years ago and mentioned Harry Potter. I really hope Harry Potter was not 25 years ago. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, you were absolutely right. There was.
I've been married almost 20 years, and I remember reading it the last few books on the subway.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. So 20. So again, I'm speaking of 30 years ago. You know, like I'm trying to like I'm 40. So when I was 10, like this stuff, while it was created, there wasn't an internet to like quickly pass it around. There was. I'm not saying the internet wasn't. The internet's been around since the ladies, and bigger geeks than me, older geeks than me were on BBSs sharing stuff like this. But again, I had to preface that those were like very specific corners. This stuff is on YouTube. It takes one click to get to it.
Dude, block YouTube.
I have. It is
no longer my house.
I had a conversation.
No offense to Team Pandori, right? But my kids can't watch YouTube.
Well, yeah, the best way to protect your kids is to pull them back. Yeah, I go simply break them. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And so that's been I'm helping them out as best I can. I do block them from it. I have to because I'm not around them at all times.
You have to.
What I've done is
permission for YouTube videos.
On this show, we've talked about the fact that I built computers this summer for them. And they're playing all the games now. But one of the big frustrating points lately has been that now that they've got these games, and that they've got these computers, like all they're playing are the kid games that everyone's playing. They're playing Minecraft, of course, but they play a ton of Roblox. And Roblox is not gaming per se. It is. It's all fan games. It's all games made by fans. The same fans that write this fiction. Right. So they not only can they write fiction, now they can make these games to go in and play these fictions. So like my kid was running around as like Sans from Undertale, interacting and playing these like weird games.
That's fun. I mean, that's like something we would have wanted as a kid.
Right. And again, some of it is safe and some of it isn't. And so like there's a lot of like before there was like one place I could block it out of, but now there's so many avenues for them. And again, I agree. I use the YouTube Kids app, and the YouTube Kids app is just as bad because a lot of the creators can get away with it by just making the kid. You mark the video as safe for kids, and then the content all is contained. It's just like, oh, here's Sonic and Blow and so, but that there's no one like there can be still adult content or implied content, like a lot of beeping out. Like they'll beep stuff out on purpose so that it doesn't filter. The filters don't catch the curse words, and then it doesn't get. But there's still stuff like that being talked about.
Dude, I mean, the solution is to keep your kid off the internet, I think. Team Pandori says, remember back in the day how parents got kids to stop smoking, push.
Right. And then what did they do the moment they got out of the house? They immediately started smoking. Like
I'm so old, I remember buying my dad a pack of cigarettes at 11. All right, everybody? That's how old I am. I used to go and just buy the cigarettes for him.
Right. DeviantArt was it still is right. So DeviantArt was.
I can't believe it's still around.
It's still around. It's not as bad as it was back then, but that used to be like that was pretty like the fanfic place back in the day. And I get it. That was the kind of the beginnings of it. Like artists were coming out and drawing, and a lot of those amazing artists that drew fanfiction now are like working for Marvel.
Yep. Like and Magic the Gathering.
The Gathering. Anywho, let's get back to some news here.
If your kiddo sees you cosplaying Sans in a bikini, guarantee he drops that fandom quick.
Dude, I know, right?
You just gotta talk to him, man. I don't know how else to do it, right? I mean, I talk to my kid all the time. I try to express the right and wrong of it. She's been kept on Pokemon, and I try to express to her that that's not the case. At least kids can go on OnlyFans now. Too soon, Dan. Too soon.
So for those not in the know, another piece of topical news here real quick. Thank you for bringing that up, Dan. OnlyFans has banned explicit content starting in October.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of all their sexual content. Explicit sexual content.
Explicit sexual content. So apparently from the messages that the ladies of OnlyFans have shared already, that they've gotten like an internal, like kind of a memo, like whatever. They said that explicit content will be blocked. The nudes will still be allowed, of course, but they're trying to block the actual video, like act of kind of videos. And can we talk about the fact that this is all being done to appease the morals of the bankers?
So help me out here. This is the part that I don't understand, right? Aren't they making bank, like tons of money? So
but they want
about the bankers.
They want venture capitalists. They want they don't want their like,
they want to sell for $1 billion. Is what they
right.
I just don't get it. I'm like, you've got a business model that works, and you don't actually have to do anything except take a cut.
Yeah.
Of all these sex workers who now have a place to work,
a safe place
to work.
Let's talk about that.
What are you doing? Why are you shutting down? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it
either. I don't get it. It's like shooting
like
the
pure
cow.
Capitalism. Like OnlyFans is pure capitalism. All they're doing is taking a cut of other people's labor, and they I don't know. Banker talk. They want to have the monopoly, but they don't want to have the banker money there.
I don't know. Like I don't get it. Like they talk about like the investors. All the stories that I read about it all talk about how the investors, and they're trying to appease the money investors, and they don't. And also it has a lot to do with the fact that places like PayPal and all of the other like payment methods don't like associating with places that might, like, they don't want to, like, their money doesn't want to be attached to their bank, and their like PayPal doesn't want to be attached to anything that might have a minor putting pictures of themselves on the internet, right?
Okay, so they like improve those restrictions,
right? So they have to improve the restrictions, but they can't, like, so OnlyFans, like, think of it, like, if you want to open up an OnlyFans, you have to like prove, so you have to send them like ID and all that kind of stuff. But all it takes is one person, or probably many that have already done it, that have faked it, that are minors, to put pictures of themselves on the internet, or acts of them doing stuff, and then all of a sudden people are paying with PayPal.
Sex work, right? But not pornography, right? Because we're going to draw some sort of weird line here, where we say like Pornhub and all of those websites are
right.
Not
so one of them is considered pornography, and one of them can be tasteful art, even though all
because
of these...
one I own the means of my production in my body,
right,
and I'm making money for myself and not giving a cut to a studio and all these other people,
right.
And the other one is I don't get it. Yeah, crony capitalism. Yeah, right. There's a difference between capitalism, PayPal, and all the big boys want them out of control. So my big question is, what's the next OnlyFans, right?
Well, there are a few, right?
Yeah.
So what's it? Fansly is the other one that everyone's like,
Mid-Geek hot tub edition. All right, fine. Let's do
this. No, I mean, it's
nobody wants that pergamene.
No. I don't know, I mean, a little.
You're like Joe's like, maybe I do.
No, I mean, seriously, like it made me kind of rage about it when I heard. I was like, I don't get it. First off, it's a safe space. Second, in the middle of a freaking pandemic, a lot of individuals have found themselves. They've been working it from home. They're like, we need to pay the bills. Let's do this. And like, positivity, it's done all sorts of stuff. Like, whether what you think about it on this channel, on my outlet, we will not down talk any of the ladies or gentlemen or anybody that are doing any
only. Make your money.
Make your money. Use your body positivity. We don't kink shame. We don't do any of that stuff. We're adults, and people are adults, and they can do whatever they want. They have control of their body and the way that they make their money. Right. And that said, OnlyFans was considered a safe space. When you then go, wait a minute, now we're going to start banning you for this kind of stuff. And from my understanding, from my understanding is from other ladies have been following on Twitter and whatnot. When you read, they said that a lot of them have been having trouble cashing out in the past few months. like money that they've made, they're like holding back funds, people that haven't been paid properly from OnlyFans since March, because the amount of money they've been ranking in, right? Like we're talking like, I think when you're in the top like 7% or something like that, I think some people are making like 40-50 grand a month.
Good for them. Holy shit.
Like
a way to make money. That's just amazing. Good for them.
If you got it funded.
Team Pandora, I mean, did you just join the internet? I don't understand.
Really? You never heard of? So that's interesting. Yeah,
I think the Saturday Night Live has done OnlyFans skits. Like it's jumped the shark already. Like it's already out there.
I think a lot of people didn't know about it until the pandemic happened. And then when the pandemic happened, the joke early on in the early throes of the pandemic back in March was like, at what month did you start your OnlyFans? Right? Like it's like there was a couple of memes that were like, if you started yours by April, you were like ready to go. Like
it was done.
It didn't take much to push you off that cliff. It was because you started in March, and by April you were already making OnlyFans money.
Yeah, I don't get it. These internet companies that have to go out there and do it, it's so weird. Linus Media Tech Group.
So Linus Tech Tips started an OnlyFans, and they were made like. What's hilarious is all it was pictures of Linus. So it's just like holding up like tech products and whatnot, and because of the joke or whatnot, but I think he started ranking in like
thousands
he was making thousands of dollars a day on it. Of course he was, and he kind of felt uncomfortable about it. He was like, "Ooh, wait a minute,"
because it's easy. I mean, it's kind of that Patreon model, right? That was it. Like OnlyFans was that Patreon model that was like, I could throw $1 towards this creator to check out their stuff. I love what they're doing, and $1 is $1.
That's all it was, right? It's Patreon for the industry, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was supposed to be for like celebrities.
It was, right? So like at one point,
the internet does.
So OnlyFans, if I'm not mistaken, the company that owns OnlyFans owns another porn site. There's one or two porn sites that they own. They own one of the other like live place, but they created OnlyFans, and at first they created as like OnlyFans can join, and so like they left it open to be for adult content creators, but at the same time, then their ads and their banners are like, be a comedian or whatever, and you can find a place like Patreon, but not Patreon. But I'm like, but Patreon already exists.
And then they were like, make that sex work money.
Yeah, well, I mean, they yeah, it's weird, but it was a safe place. So now it's annoying that this is happening. I don't know how long this will happen. Like, I can't imagine them by October going, we're going to pull everything and start banning people, to see like the giant like move. Because even just this week alone, a lot of big creators are like, go ahead and follow me on this other new link for my other site, for my Fansly site.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Never mind, I Googled it. Boy, if I had a nickel for the amount of times people have said that, right? Never mind. I Googled it. Fuck you, cautious. I'll just Google it.
Just Google it.
Let's do one table talk update, as I love this particular thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see if I can share it real quick. So, is this a weird segue if we go from fans to Magic the Gathering?
We're fans of Magic. We're only fans of Magic the Gathering.
We're only fans. Speaking of places where people can get weird things for fandom, right? We can go and check out Magic the Gathering is doing Fortnite.
By the way, we called this.
We did. And I just want to take credit for this, right? So Magic the Gathering is doing Fortnite and Street Fighter crossover sets, right? They're also doing a Lord of the Rings crossover set, right? So they're doing 3 major properties in their Magic the Gathering. So you can now tap default guy and maybe build a fortress to destroy someone's swamp. So here we are in 2021, and Magic the Gathering has basically said we're going to be the monopoly of collectible card games, right? So you know how you can buy a Fortnite Monopoly set.
We said it ourselves. We called it. We said it on
there was
the
no
show.
hanging fruit, but I'm gonna
take low-hanging fruit, but by all means. But we were like, so Magic the Gathering is becoming the new Fortnite of card games, and sure enough, here we are, Magic the Gathering doing Fortnite. It's like,
and they're like the sacred layers are like you can play with them, but the Lord of the Rings are going to be draftable, so they're going to have tournaments built around the Lord of the Rings. Magic the Gathering say you can now mix them with your Walking Dead, right? So now all of that stuff we were talking about earlier about crossing over fan fictions, where we used to play with our G.I. Joes and Transformers. If you collect Magic the Gathering cards, you can do that now, right? With pretty much everything. So I hate it. Also, I love it, and I hate it.
I love it.
Like, I kind of want to play Magic the Gathering with Street Fighter cards. Like, I kind of do. I want to, like, tap Chun-Li, right? Yeah, that's exactly
Right. So like, Ultimate Crossover Capcom resisting.
I mean,
what is happening? Is that art? I didn't even see the story.
yes,
Is that Wizards of the Coast Chun-Li drawn? Oh my god.
yeah, and Street Fighter cards would be unique, right? They're featuring some sort of gameplay mechanics.
So what
specific to-
lands do you tap with Chun-Li? I want to put that out there.
I don't know. And
This
I'm
is
gonna
why
have
we
to buy it.
segued from OnlyFans.
Phrasing,
folks.
yes, you're right. Sorry, yes. Right. But like, this feels awesome, but also I hate it.
It's like I use my Ryu attack with my Negan card. Like what's going on? Like how many of
I'm
these
gonna
are
tap
tournament?
my two. So I guess I would tap my two fire lands to uppercut with Ken, right? I mean,
Right.
it would be fire based, and Ryu might be
Fire-based. There
water
we
based.
go.
Yeah, so we're so I don't know, man. Dan, we're gonna have to go online and figure that out. Also, first
Good
streamer-
callback. Good callback on that one. There's not even a Sonya.
it's good stuff. So I mean,
Chun-Li is not even in this movie. I don't even understand.
Chun-Li's not a man. What happened to Mortal Kombat? Are we gonna get a part 2? I still want a part 2.
I don't know. I know it came out on video, and I didn't even know when it came out on video, and I haven't bought it. I didn't buy it.
The video came out in part 2.
The Blu-ray and whatever came out, and so strange. Wow, what a weird crossover.
Yeah, in the realm of not weird crossovers, right? They're gonna do Lord of the Rings. It's gonna be a complete draftable set.
I mean,
Commander
okay.
decks digital release is gonna be everywhere. So, good time to get into Magic the Gathering if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, or a Fortnite fan, or a Street Fighter.
What
fan.
is this not legit art? That doesn't look like
Look, that's Gandalf. That's not my Gandalf?
that's
That's
Gandalf.
not my Gandalf. That's what I'm.
Gandalf the light black.
Gray with an E, the bastard, right? So
We don't speak that language here.
yeah, it's hashtag not my Gandalf.
Hashtag not my Gandalf. Oh man. So can we talk about something real quick? Another one.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about a lot of things.
We'll talk about video games. It's the we talk about 25 years, and it is the 25th anniversary of Quake.
All right, go ahead, Joe. This is your jam. Go
It's
ahead.
my jam. So if you weren't familiar, QuakeCon kind of happened. I guess we didn't really have.
Joe was a semi-pro Quake player. I just want to make it clear to everybody he played all the time.
I did, and we got a drop, man. It was like out of nowhere, out of the blue. We got a Quake remaster that dropped, and it was pretty awesome. Like it was such an awesome little drop because what was great about it is they made sure to keep it looking chunky, like
Sure.
they did not improve on
Look at
the
this
animation.
trash of a game.
Oh, so good. Kept the original Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, so no changes on
Look
that.
at that fast shooter. My God.
So fast, so good. I ran through the first 2 episodes of this like soon as
Of course
it
you did.
dropped.
You're right.
Quake.
You better take a picture of those credits for your
Yeah,
game.
if you own the version on Steam, by the way, the update was free. You just got an update, a random update to Quake.
A
25 years later.
Of course. Killer Quake. Now that's where it's at. Sure.
So Team Pandora, what's interesting is the new version of Quake accepts mods. So if you go download the Killer Quake mod, it will play on the new version of Quake with the new executable and all the new textures and all of that. The multiplayer is live. Like I played multiplayer on my Switch against people on PC. It was nuts.
So where's the fan fiction site for this one?
All my scrogs, all the gibbage. Oh man, yeah. So it dropped on Friday. It just came out And there it is. It's available. It's free. Next gen upgrade coming soon as well. So if you buy the PS4 and Xbox One,
We had another big anniversary, right? Where we were redoing Skyrim for the 150th time.
So first off, there's all sorts of extra textures already out there for Killer Quake. It's already a really big popular mod. And B, yeah, I mean, like a lot of the drop. What they did is they took the original Quake engine and threw it into a modern engine. And so then you run the executable. So essentially, if you own the Steam version, all it does is add more files within that original Quake folder. So if you have Killer Quake or any of those mods installed, you load up the new version of Quake with all the new interface, and you go to the mods section. There's an actual mods button.
There's probably a Wolfenstein mod for Quake, Dan.
Oh, yeah, of course there would. And that mod existed before they released the Return to Castle Wolfenstein version of the game, right?
Of course.
Yeah. No, Quake is an interesting game. Like it was one of the first 3D
Did
shooters.
Did they add fishing? That's the only thing that matters to this remaster.
Thank you for bringing that up. So the next remaster that we got released again at QuakeCon Bethesda. It was all within the same days. Another release of Skyrim. Another. I feel like I close my eyes and I wake up and I'm on that cart all over again. It's like you've woken up. What's going on?
So for those that don't know, Skyrim was remastered once again for the 10th anniversary, and they added
fishing.
So now you can find another way to waste your time in this game beyond all of the crafting, magic, dragon hunting, marriages, house management, spell management, all the ridiculous things. You can become a vampire and then go fishing. You could do this now in this ridiculously ridiculous game 10 years later. My favorite thing about whenever Skyrim, they drop a new Skyrim, the remaster, the community is always like, but will it work with my mods? And I always sit there going, just play the game you have now. Like, I just always like, why do you need to know if the remaster is going to work with your mods? Why is this like, just play the one you have now? You don't need the new one.
Yeah, but they're like, put all my nude mods, right? like all my nude mods. Like, how am I supposed to be walking around, you know?
No, it's got like the quest and fixing. I don't know. I don't play with mods, right? I just don't. It kills me that it's $3 on PSX and $50 on Switch. Yeah. It's fishing. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, like he spelled it that way. No one needs more fishing. We get enough of that in our text messages and our emails for sure.
Oh, like we have Have you had to take remedial training in fishing yet by clicking a link by accident? I did.
It's that time of year, right? It's usually about mid-year where we all take our security training and all of our jobs. Not only is it so bad that my wife gets like they'll randomly send emails like in the middle of like, here's the start of the school year, and then they'll send a bunch of like actual emails, and then they'll throw one in there that's a phishing one. And then as soon as you do that, they're like, haha, you've been caught, now you got to do the training.
You took the remedial training, loser. And you're
like, come on.
Oh, Dan, I'm involved with sending those out. You suck. I hate you.
It's him.
You're the worst.
Boo this man.
So everyone look out for those phishing mods, I guess, and also phishing scams. Just don't click any link. That's pretty much the lesson here in the email you get ever. Don't click the link.
Oh, God.
Both. Dan's in charge of both. He's responsible for all of our problems, Pergamene. Send all messages to Dan Kemp Music. I love it. All right, folks. We got anything else? Any other one you want to throw up there?
I don't know. I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot. Like, we could talk a little bit about Gamescom, but we won't, right? Like, so Gamescom happened. It is happening. Happened. It's virtual.
I don't know.
Xbox announced a bunch of stuff tonight. We could talk. I mean, yeah. Psychonauts. It's already up. It's on Game Pass right now.
Who cares when I'm playing Hades all day, every
single my God.
Who cares?
So I ran through my first run through of Hades, right? I sent you the screenshots, and of course, the first run through is technically the end, but not really because that's not the right ending or whatever. Either way, I made it out of. I walked up and met my mom. You know, right?
Way to go, dude.
You know, and then I promptly die.
Shield? Did you go Shield the whole way? The Aegis? Was that your run?
Yes, I did. I did Aegis. Aegis is just too good.
I am crushing it with the bow, for the record.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
First
First time I used the bow, I got to the Minotaur, and I'm like, everyone says this weapon isn't very good. I'm killing it with this.
Yeah, no, I feel like the hardest weapon to play with is the gauntlets.
I haven't unlocked those yet.
So they take 8 keys, and
I did not beat the Minotaur.
And the gauntlets, they're powerful, but you got to get too close all the time. There's not enough range. The Aegis gives me that sweet spot, right? Like you can toss the shield, but yet you're really strong with a melee. And
yeah, I mean, it seems like it's stronger than the sword. The sword is so, I don't know. It's great. I'm now beginning to understand the interactions of all the gods. I didn't realize that I could give nectar to the gods, right?
Right.
There's no like interaction. There's no.
No, it doesn't tell you anything unless you
do
don't notice it until you walk up to any god. But the best part is you can give it to anybody.
Yeah.
I've given it to the random people.
Yeah,
like
that's where I started because I was like, "What is this? Let me give it to this person," and I'm like, "Oh wow, all right."
So like, part of me, like, who's the character? Who's your favorite one so far?
The skeleton, because he reminds me of home.
Of course he does. God, how did I know you'd identify as the Skelly? You are the Skelly.
Every day, all day.
It's a trick. I got it here, guys. Oh, God. The Skelly's great.
Don't fuck me up, but the Skelly's my jam.
Sisyphus is my favorite so far. He's just been like, he's pushing that eternal boulder.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. So I mean, I don't know his story, but he doesn't seem to ever remember that we chatted. Like he's always like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "Leaving." Every time I talk to you, I tell you the same thing.
Well, right. Well, I think that's his jam. Like he's like every day is a new day. Every day is the same thing for him, and he has to keep pushing that boulder.
Hades as well, though, right? Zegara is doing the same thing every day, trying to get out every single day.
Right. It's Groundhog's Day, and spoiler alert for anybody: when you do beat it once and you go and talk to Hades, he doesn't remember anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but then you do, and so then you go and talk to certain people, and they're like, yeah, there's reasons. Like,
I dig it. I know, Dan, we're talking about Hades, the awesome roguelike game, maybe roguelike game of the year. Should be game of the year nomination. I'm going to call it now.
Again, even though it was nominated last year?
It's going to, yep.
I mean, I think I'm going to give it to Skyrim again for fishing. It's the game of the year, man.
Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? That's the game of the year. Everyone's been playing that game for 10,000 years.
Can we talk about how Polycount has like 15 stories about it?
Dude, I don't understand it. It's like I have a buddy who works at Rockstar, and I totally texted him, and I was like, is Rockstar and Bethesda in a competition as to how many times they can re-release the same game? I'm just wondering, like, you do it, and then Bethesda does it, and then you have to do it your end. Like,
yeah, but then Capcom enters chat, and they're like, we're going to re-release Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 has been released, I think, just as much as all the other ones.
Special collector's edition. Not as often as Skyrim, though. Skyrim's been, like, they're up to, like, edition 12 now, right? 13. Didn't they release one on the Alexa? Like, there's like a million.
Does that count? Yeah, I guess we're gonna count that one. They
all count.
They did release one on the Alexa. Wow.
Go astronaut go. It's still 2020 though. Yeah, I guess we can go back in time. We can go back in time. Eat all the bread.
Oh man. So yeah, like yes. Oh my god.
All right,
everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been Tuesday night. It's always great to talk and chat and kind of get the week going. Oh man, let us know.
Games, get on it.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, Pandora. We're talking about so. Thank you for reminding me about this particular.
Team Pandora's been waiting this whole time for soccer.
Yeah, no. I was laughing, but when I made the episode name, I was laughing. Have you seen the trends? Right, everyone's always doing the trend. So apparently this week the trend is walking at milk crates.
Oh yeah, walking on the milk crates. That's right.
What's with that?
I
also, it seems to be people like our age doing it, and I'm like, what are you doing? You've got no health care. Like, and then when you see these people wipe out on these things, it's not pretty, man.
But, I mean, like, do you not watch it go, oh
yeah, that's all I've been doing.
That's what we're doing.
Ooh. Oh wait, what happened to the camera? It came out, but it never came out in the US.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so that Capcom fight stick with the Capcom lettering. It never came out in the US. It came out in the UK, was never released in the US, and it came out and then it died. Like no one cared for it. It had Wi-Fi for updates, but it got one update, I think, and then that's it. No one heard from it again.
Boo.
Dan, thank you for noticing. That is a PVM. Just got it. It's talk about it in another episode. There's
Next episode. Just get a Pandora box.
Pandora. So thank you. So I was wondering. I'm like, I am a Patreon follower for you. Like I have the so if not anyone's familiar, Team Pandora, they released a piece of software for the Pandora's box. They're the multicades boxes or arcade sticks or whatever, and they kind of released the tool to allow you to jailbreak it and kind of manipulate the ROMs and add stuff and clean it up, fix a lot of the things. And I started following them because I ended up buying a Pandora for my Astro City that's in my arcade.
You got downstairs.
So, I have a one of the, I think the last Pandora that works with video over the JAMA connector, and so I Patreon them. And
so Team Pandora is a content creator that also makes software, or is it hardware?
They're I guess they're a team, right? They release the software that allows you to
That's awesome.
exploit and add and fix the hardware that is created by these Chinese companies that make these all-in-one boxes that have all these games on it, right? So
that's great.
So you've ever seen those arcade sticks? You see them on Amazon or whatever. They're like
50 games and
50,000 games, and it's like 2 arcade sticks. And you plug them in. They run Pandora's box is what it runs.
That's such a good name for it too. That's great.
Yeah. So
thanks for jumping on, folks.
Yeah.
Rolls, Dan, Rita, Team Pandora. Thanks for jumping on. It's awesome.
It's just me and a buddy. We fixed the trash. I love it. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm glad. I mean, it was also fun to see this random person I know online hop onto my random channel. Yeah. No one follows me much on the YouTubes, but they do Twitch and whatnot, can get lively sometimes.
Don't talk it, dude. We got mad followers on the YouTube.
We're about to hit year 4 of content
we do with this show.
That's right. That's right, everyone.
Good times. Thanks for jumping on, everybody.
Yeah. Again, like, subscribe, share. We come on every Tuesday, 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time, best time, right?
The best time, Eastern time.
Eastern time. Everyone, episode 137. 137 is.
Oh yeah, go Ashinargo still wants that mug. By the way,
I'm working on it. I promise. I'm working on it. We're gonna get I haven't forgotten. It's on the Post-it note right up here on the left.
My mom wants a mug too, Joe. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. We got it. All right, everyone. Take care.
All right, folks. Be kind.
Be kind.